Hi, and welcome to a product integration demo between commercetools and Conscia.ai. In this video, I'll showcase a series of personalized digital experiences for customers using our integration between commercetools for products and Conscia for orchestration and personalization. For the showcase, we've created a sample omnichannel experience based on a CPG retail brand. Now, this brand's homepage aims to showcase different content to match different customer personas, in turn driving better engagement. Through this demo, I'll showcase how we personalize this experience using the customer's context to orchestrate content from commercetools. Now, this page is built using a series of components. Each component is tied to a content source. We'll deep dive into the commercetools components as part of this demo. I'll showcase how two different experiences are generated by looking at the customer's context to source different content from each of the components on the page. The end result is the same page, but with a tailored experience using personalized content sourced from commercetools. Let's start by taking a look at our default experience. As shown by the card in the top right-hand corner, in this scenario, we're not passing any context about the customer when we make the call to the DX engine. In this case, the DX engine connects with commercetools and our other data sources and orchestrates the appropriate content based on any default experience rules set up in Conscia's Experience Studio, which I'll show you shortly. Let's focus on two components that are sourcing product content from commercetools. For our weekly specials, we can see we have a mix of fashion apparel, and for our best-selling products, we can see that we have a mix of products from various categories. Now, let's call the same page, but first get the customer's context from our CDP and pass it to the DX engine to get a personalized experience. For this scenario, we're making a call to our CDP by passing in the customer's email, which in turn provides us with the customer's context. From the customer context card, you can see that Pepper falls in the Traveler segment and has certain brand affinities and is a gold member. Using Pepper's Traveler segment as our personalization trigger, we can see that our weekly specials component is now personalized with sunglasses. Coming down to the best-selling products, we can again see that our component is sourcing different product content from commercetools based on the customer's segment. Here's another example of the same page personalized with content driven by the customer's context. In this example, we have Peter, who's a millennial. As you can see, the components on the page react to Peter's context and deliver content variants based on the rules marketers define in the Experience Studio. One important note here is that each of the components on the page works independently of one another. For the weekly specials, we have the default experience, but coming down on the page, we can see that for best-selling products, we have products tailored to millennials. The ability of each of the components on the page to deliver content variants allows you to automatically create unique page experiences without the need to manage each page variant. Now that we've seen the customer experiences, let's dive into Conscia's Experience Studio and see how we work with the commercetools components and the experience rules. Let's start by taking a look at the template dashboard. Clicking on my homepage template, I can see all the components that have been associated with this template. As you can see, we have our commercetools best-selling products component, and scrolling down, we can see we have our weekly featured products component. You'll also notice that this template is mapped to multiple channels, ensuring that customers receive a consistent experience when engaging with a brand across multiple channels. Now let's take a look at the experience rules page where we configure the different experience rules for each of the different components. Here on the left-hand side, I have all the various channels set up for this application. We're looking at the web, the homepage template, and we're going to focus on the best-selling product component for commercetools. Here you can see I have a series of different rules set up for this commercetools component. We'll take a look at this selection of products for travelers. Each experience rule has three different elements to it. The first is what you see here under General. It defines the type of component it is. In this case, it is a commercetools static product list. And it also allows you to define a priority for the rule, whether the rule is a default, whether the rule rolls up into a specific campaign code, and whether the rule is configured as an A/B test. Now, the second element within this rule is the trigger conditions. And here's where I can define a schedule for this rule to activate and deactivate. At the same time, I can define the real-time context that is going to serve as the trigger condition for this rule. In this case, it's customer segment equals traveler, but I can easily adjust that to include additional operations to look for. In this case, I may want to set it to look for travelers who are part of the US. Now, the third part of the experience rule is the target experience. In this case, what we're doing is we're selecting a number of products within commercetools to return as part of the experience. In this case, if I search for something like bag, it's making a direct query against commercetools and returning this product as part of the experience. What we just saw with the best-selling products was an example of a static component. Now, the Conscia commercetools integration also supports dynamic components, which is what drives our weekly features. Unlike the static component that we had where we hand-selected a list of products, the dynamic components allow us to define a criteria that automatically matches a set of products. In this example, our weekly features component is serving up personalized products for travelers. Looking at this rule, we can see a similar setup in terms of the general element. Now, the trigger condition, again, is being set up for a traveler segment. Now, what differs here with the static and the dynamic component is the target experience. Rather than selecting a set of products, what we're doing here is we're defining a criteria that is going to match a set of products within commercetools. In this case, you can see that I've set up a couple of different operations looking for anything with the word sunglasses and within a specific price range. Now, coming to the section on the right here, we can see that any of the attributes within commercetools is available as part of this criteria. And so I can basically define a specific rating or product type and drag and drop additional elements onto this canvas in order to define a criteria that will match a set of products. One of the features of Conscia is the ability to collect data and visualize analytics. Here we see a sample analytics dashboard for a previous A/B test that was done for coffee lovers. As part of this analytics reporting, we can see that there are KPIs that have been generated using both the data collected by Conscia and external data. Here we see sample visualizations such as views, click-throughs, and revenues, as well as other breakdowns of analytics data that you would expect as part of an analytics report. Now that we've seen the front-end experiences and the experience rules that drive them, I hope you have a sense of how quick, easy, and user-friendly it is to integrate commercetools with Conscia. Through this integration, business teams can seamlessly integrate products and content from commercetools and other systems and personalize experiences across your channels. Thanks again for watching, and to learn more about the commercetools Conscia integration, reach out to us through any of our channels.